Lou. Now, is he someone that's your type?
He's not.
Okay.
He is not. Just initial attraction. I'm not really into hair, but
you ain't got none.
That's it's because I'm bald. It is.
I'm just joshing.
The question is, why is chivalry dead? Why is modern dating dead? Why are men not men anymore? Well, I think this guy has a very practical answer. And after he gets through saying what he's saying, we have a clip of a woman explaining to us why men would rather not go out on dates with them anymore. Too many games. And if you play stupid games, you're going to win a stupid prize.
Make this very clear. If I'm paying all the bills, I am not coming home to help you with cooking and cleaning. If I'm paying all the bills, I'm coming home to a house that is already cleaned with the food cooked. Let me make the second part clear. If I am coming home to help and clean and cook and pay all the bills, well, guess what? You are now going to get a job and help me pay the bills. The only girls that have that mindset that the man should work, pay all the bills, and then help out with the housework are the girls that are delusional at the fault of simp-ass men. These are men that feel so lucky to even have a woman that they are willing to bend over backwards and crawl to their master. But you deal with a man that has his own shit and don't need you for fucking nothing, absolutely you'll get fucking replaced, and that's a fact. Because let's be honest, what's easier to find? A good-looking man that you want to pay your bills, or a good-looking woman that'll clean my house?
Get unready with me while I tell you how my date walked out on me tonight. Backstory, I was feeling really sick this day, and instead of canceling, my roommate, her boyfriend, and her other friend Nick rallied around me, and they're like, we're getting you on this date. To set the scene, the four of us show up to the bar together, and my date tells me that he's 5 minutes away. To my surprise, he was not 5 minutes away. He was actually there. I'm standing in a circle with my friends. I turn around, and I see him. I was totally planning on separating myself from my friends before meeting up with him because I didn't want him to know I had friends there, but I was caught, so I was forced to introduce him to all my friends. Now I'm sensing weird vibes from him being around my group of friends, and I totally get it. So I'm like, listen, let's go outside. Let's get away from them. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom. He never came back. He walked out the side door that's by the bathroom. I stood there for 10 minutes, and I knew, like 30 seconds in, I'm like, why do I feel like he just left the bar? I stood there for 10 minutes, and then I went upstairs and found my friends and came to tell them the story. I'm like, guys, the guy you just met, my date, yeah, he just left. Didn't tell me, he just walked out the door. So that was humbling.
I don't date men anymore. I don't see them as people.
I don't believe that they should even be allowed to vote.
Yeah.
Cut it if not.
I mean,
before.
that's why we're in this situation, because they're voting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel there should be a program
They
where
start off in jail.
Yes, like start off in jail. Start off with no rights. You actually get none, and then you can earn them.
So one of my guy friends gave me permission to make a Hinge account for him because I was telling him how easy dating is with dating apps, and he was telling me that it's incredibly difficult, and I was like, Pete, you must be doing something wrong. And he gave me permission to create an account for him and just run the account. I've been a virtual boy for 3 days, and I've never felt this bad about myself. I feel like a freaking loser trying to get these girls to like me, and I'm starting to hate women because I'm like, when I say I mean Pete, because that's the account I'm using. Pete's about a 6. But I'm so desperate, I'm liking the 2s and the 3s, and even they won't like me back, Pete, which is a 6. So what level of delusion has entered women's heads? Like, what is going on? It is so difficult dating as a boy. I hate it. I'm on day 3 of being a boy, and I hate women, and I'm more depressed than ever.
Here, I was matching with women that were not that attractive. I was getting like women on mid-30s, higher. What amazed me wasn't this decrease of matches, was actually the replying. I mean, how can I get these women to go on a date with me if they don't even reply to me? I was so confused. I mean, if we match, why aren't we talking? I matched with so many, and I got no response. I saw a lot of like Instagram stuff, follow me on Instagram, and I didn't thought this would happen. I didn't thought I would match and they wouldn't reply. From what I talked to my friends and maybe myself, that doesn't happen if I matched, like the man doesn't reply to me. Like that doesn't happen. If I compare an experience that a woman has on a dating app and that a man has on a dating app, it's much different. And
guys should pay for the first date and every date after.
Okay, but why?
Guys are the ones that are going to be the provider, and so if they can't afford to take you to McDonald's, then they can't afford to marry you.
I have a question, and it's mainly for the women that are of the opinion that it's a man's main duty to be the provider in a relationship. And this is my question. What exactly do some of you women see yourselves doing as your responsibilities in this relationship? Now, I'm sure that there are some that will be more than pleased to uphold the traditional role of being a homemaker, a loving wife and mother in some cases, and taking care of the household. But I'm sure there are others that do not see that as their role in the relationship. And my question is mainly for them. If you do not see yourself as a homemaker and the man is the main provider in the relationship, what exactly is your role in the relationship?
Ladies, would you rather give 30 chances to one guy or 30 guys one chance?
I'd rather give 30 guys one chance because I already gave guys 30 chances before.
What about you?
30 guys one chance.
What about you?
I agree. I'm not going to look vulnerable again. I've done that before. You just look stupid.
What about you?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
So this just shows you that you ain't loyal. If you're going to choose 30 men one time, you're trying to date like a man. Men go around and we're shooting our shot with a whole lot of women to see which one we make. So dating like a man for a woman, if you adopt that behavior, it never works. From a biological perspective, you are not built like a man. You have a lot more oxytocin than men have. And oxytocin is a pair bonding mechanism that allows the woman to pair bond with her mate. It's scientifically proven that shows that when a woman reaches a body count between 5 or 6, the probability for her to maintain a long-term relationship drops down to 20% because she experienced with too many men.
And with these types of responses, how can you continue to be a simp? How can you continue to want to date women like this? Modern women continue to show their lack of critical thinking skills over and over again. But they want to be put up like princesses. They want to be taken care of. They want to be shown a good time. They want to be taken on expensive, extremely expensive dates and vacations. Absolutely not. Learn how to form a coherent and deep thought first.
Recently I made a video talking about how I would not build with a man for a variety of well thought out reasons, which I will link below.
Taking advice from this girl over here is like taking advice on how to win a Super Bowl, but you're asking a guy who has never picked up a football before. This girl has made video after video after video about, something along the lines of her advice with men, despite her not being able to get the very thing that she's always talking about getting. And the reality is, even if she does get it, that's not really my point. My whole point is that the dynamic that she's going to get is going to be one that she will regret in the future, because in my opinion, I think she does have a chance of getting this rich, tall, amazing, successful man because she's an above average looking woman. But these are the same women that will complain in 10 years because your whole entire value to this successful man is going to be your appearance. Whether you believe it or not, that's the only thing that you're going to be able to provide to this man that's super successful and has all this stuff going for him. If you're scoffing at the idea of providing anything to him, eventually your appearance is the only thing that matters. So in 10 years, 15 years, when he's bored and you've gotten a little bit older, he's going to leave you or cheat on you or just in general not be interested in you anymore because the thing that made you valuable is no longer an asset. Because girls like this, in my opinion, they act like victims down the line. When they meet a guy, the guy's clearly only with them because of the fact that they might be a little bit more attractive than the average girl. They openly admit that they don't do anything that makes them valuable. They don't have to be caring. They don't have to be nice. They don't have to give gifts. They don't have to do anything because that's a man's job. And then 5-10 years down the line, when that guy's like, all right, I kind of, got it all. And then he meets a girl that's just as attractive, but actually willing to do those things, he's going to leave you. Because like I said, I don't deny a lot of these women are going to get the thing that they're talking about. Like some of them will get it because a lot of it is very, very superficial for the reasons how they got it. But my prediction is most of these women don't last longer than a 4 to 5 year mark on any of the relationships because it's built off of appearance and wealth. So if that is the type of dynamic that you want, then I guess more power to you. Some girls actually don't mind that trade-off. But if you're actually looking for a legit relationship, do not take this girl's advice, because there's a reason why it is only her in all of her videos and not this guy that she's so good at finding. Because it's pretty self-explanatory that girls that don't want to build with you are inherently going to be selfish partners. You are solely basing your like or love for the girl off of her appearance and the fact that a lot of men are lonely. Eventually, if they meet one girl that literally puts in a fraction of effort, she's going to win and you're going to lose. And inherently, you'll be back here talking about that man that you used to date that was like super successful and tall and you had him 2 years ago, but he's not here now. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
So she gets to find out firsthand what it's like dating as a man.
So one of my guy friends gave me permission to make a Hinge account for him because I was telling him how easy dating is with dating apps. And he was telling me that it's incredibly difficult. And I was like, Pete, you must be doing something wrong. And he gave me permission to create an account for him and just run the account. I've been a virtual boy for 3 days and I've never felt this bad about myself. I feel like a freaking loser trying to get these girls to like me. And I'm starting to hate women because I'm like, when I say I mean Pete, because that's the account I'm using. Pete's about a 6. But I'm so desperate, I'm liking the 2s and the 3s, and even they won't like me back, Pete, which is a 6. So what level of delusion has entered women's heads? Like, what is going on? It is so difficult dating as a boy. I hate it. I'm on day 3 of being a boy, and I hate women, and I'm more depressed than ever.
Yo, the level of delusion is through the roof when it comes to women on dating apps. But shout out to this chick for even giving it a try, because her whole point was to prove her man's Pete wrong. And you know, women love nothing more than being right, and that's why she said I'm gonna make a dating app, and we're gonna see. And she sees quick that even the 2s and the 3s, that's how desperate she was getting, wasn't even accepting her shit, because those 2s and 3s have smashed 7, 8s, and 9s, because those dudes smashed 10s and they smashed 3s, and now their ceiling on those 2s and 3s is a guy that's like a 7 and 8, which is delusional as hell. On top of that, as a woman, she seems cute, so her swipes are probably through the roof. She probably got a laundry list worth of people and simps that's ready to date her and do whatever. Not to say that those guys are any substance, but you know, there's still dudes that'll show her attention and all that, and she's thinking it's gonna translate to a dude doing it, and it's not. She finds out firsthand dudes swipe like crazy and hardly get any likes back. You gotta be Superman to even get a date nowadays when it comes to being a dude. And she finds out, she even talks about, I'm hating women, getting depressed, because as a woman, they like to be right, they like the attention. And as playing this dude Pete, who's a 6, he's a 5 is average, so he's above average according to her, and he can't get shit. Her whole point is to prove him wrong, because chicks like to be right, and she can't do it because the truth is, it's hard dating as a man. The entitled women, the hypergamy, the inflation, the hoflation, it's crazy. And there are good women out there, but on dating apps, it's just not it. So shout out to her. She found out real quick, because it didn't take that long, what it's like dating as a man, and that shit ain't easy.
Women are becoming the men in dating now. Because of all of the post-Me Too, women have to now learn how to approach men in real life.
The worst part about being single, it's not the loneliness, it's not having affection, it's not having your person, you know what I mean? It's the fact that when you look cute and you feel good, you don't have anyone to share it with. I have to get on here and make, TikTok, look how cute I am. No, I just want to call up my boyfriend that doesn't exist. Be like, hey babe, what are you doing? Like, I'll bring you dinner. Or like, I'm gonna go get food. Can I come over real quick? And then he'll look at me and he'll be like, wow, you look so cute in that beanie. But no.
Hey, y'all want to see women make something out of nothing? Watch this. Viewer discretion's advised. That's it. That's the end of the video. Or you trying to figure out what part where they made something out of nothing? Watch these comments. 77 Ray Ray says, him not stopping for the birds tells me all I need to know about him. Stank face, 25.4 thousand likes. Righty says, I would break up with someone over this with 37.9 thousand. Bro, that many people, bro. Do you know how ill you gotta be to be in a healthy, functioning relationship, and the day your boyfriend is going for a jog with you and he decides just to cut through the ducks, right? Not that he stepped on a duck, not that he kicked the duck. He found the gap, the spacing in between where he could continue to run. And you say to yourself, you know what? I gotta break up with this man over this. What the fuck be wrong with some of y'all? Jojo says women are true protectors with almost 10,000 likes. Well, congratulations, Jojo. What do you want, a fucking cookie for stopping for the ducks? I don't get it. What? All right. Salem says it's the little things that really show you who someone is, with 58,000 likes. So now we are equating a man jogging through the spacing that the ducks had. It's not that he jumped over the ducks to get past them. There was spacing. And because he's jogging, he's in much more control to get through this spacing. And that's what you're determining on what kind of character he has. What the fuck? Been That Girl 0621 says, mind you, it was easier for him to stop than it was for the woman to stop on the bike, with 14.2 thousand likes. Been That Girl, it was also easier for him to navigate through the ducks because he has much more control over his body versus this woman that was on a bike. She can't cut through the ducks like that. She got a bike. Isabel says he couldn't wait for 5 seconds. Ugly face with 95.2 thousand. This is insane. He didn't want to wait 5 seconds. He found spacing in their travel and he just used the spacing. That is all that happened. Slud Dragon says, regardless of the ducks crossing, who wouldn't want to stop and look at baby ducklings for a minute? With 17.3 thousand likes. Slud Dragon, apparently he was jogging. He wanted to keep his workout going. And so instead of having to stop, he found the spacing once more in the travel path of the ducks. What is the issue? Plus, just because you find amusement in watching baby ducks walk by doesn't mean the next person has to fucking find amusement in it. What be wrong with y'all? Now D says, I just know he asked to split the bill, with 54.1 thousand likes. As long as social media is around, y'all gonna always find something to complain about. At this point, it is what it is. If that's how you feel, then so fucking be it. Deal with it on your own. Y'all keep it change.
And this is the thinking of the modern woman. And this type of thinking places her solely in the female loser epidemic that she doesn't really know that she's in. She doesn't really care. She thinks that she's exhibiting behaviors of a winner. But her posting this video and all of the ladies agreeing with it in the comments are outing and exposing themselves as losers and women that don't think critically.
So how are we looking right about now?
Okay, so right now I did match with one girl.
Okay.
I messaged her and she didn't respond.
What'd you message her?
Something like, how's your week going, or something like that.
Something like, okay.
Yeah, but she didn't respond. So on to the next.
Was she cute? Was she like a 10 out of 10?
She was cute. She was cute.
Okay.
I think Juan would like her.
All right, but no response. And then anything else?
You know, we bought that feature that like you can see who likes you, but like you haven't liked them, but they like you.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I looked at that and there was like 4 girls on there that liked him, but I didn't really do anything with that because I didn't really think Juan would, like, you know, message them.
You just didn't think they were of high caliber?
Yeah, I didn't think that they were his type, really.
Okay. So that's womanese for they were ugly. They had a face for radio. That's okay. Hey, so we got 1 match and then 4 not so good wife material longevity people. Okay. Because the goal here is to try to get a decently cute girl.
Yeah, that's what I thought the goal was. So I'm just looking out for Juan, you know?
Yeah.
Juan has some standards.
Bro, fact. We're looking for a cute wife material. Bring home the mom type.
Okay.
All right, we'll give it a little bit more time and we'll check back and see if you have some more. But keep swiping.
Okay.
Please tell me you have a date, please.
No date yet. So I got into like a conversation with this one girl and she just had such an attitude. Like I needed to prove myself to her before she like even like said we would say anything about like going on a date.
Can you break down exactly what you said and she said?
She said like, I bet you can't convince me to go on a date. And I was like, what do you want me to convince? I was like, why would you even like match with me if you want me to like convince you of something? What am I supposed to convince you of? Like, do you want to go or not? She said something something and then I just didn't respond because I was like, I really don't like this attitude.
Wow. Was she look like a model, or was she look like a regular schmegular?
She was cute.
How did that make you feel? You're one. Can you put yourself in his shoes, like having to prove yourself to a mean girl?
It pissed me off. Why wouldn't you want to go on a date? Like, you're on Hinge for a reason.
Okay, so apart from that one conversation, anything else?
So I paid for that little boost or whatever it is for 24 hours, and one got some likes. I think it was like 5 girls liked his profile.
Okay.
But again, they just, weren't his type, I think.
We're in his type. Damn. And how much was that? How much did you have to pay for that?
I think it was like $20.
You paid 20 and still got nothing.
$20 for 5 girls that weren't his type.
Okay. We'll reconvene.
All right, bye.
Okay, everybody was freaking out about me calling Pete a 6. Pete thinks he's a 4, so he was very happy with a 6. Turns out nobody understands math or how numbers work, but here's a picture. I'm gonna post Pete in the next clip, and you guys can tell me if I was fucking cap or if it was a fair assessment. But anyway, here are some screenshots of some of the conversations I was having with the girls that were like ignoring me or Pete. But I do agree that it was a skill issue, and I just have 0 riz or whatever. Okay, starting off strong, I said knock knock. I was gonna do a little knock knock joke. No response, so a few hours later, I said, I guess no one's home. This girl, Kelly, she told me she just got laid off, so I was like, oh, that's actually perfect. You'll have time for a date. Never responded to me. Okay, and here is Pete, the 6.
I'm really starting to understand men. Like, at the end of the day, I get tired of hearing men talk. And I'm like, I just want someone that's hot and that's good in bed. And then maybe they can leave. And so maybe I don't want a relationship. Fuck it, am I turning into a man?
I had like lots of expectations on what would go on and what would like happen. And it was like the complete opposite. In terms of matching, I got some success, but then the replying was a nightmare. I just think it's a little bit difficult for me to invite them to go on a date with me if they don't even reply. And this happened like a lot.
Okay, so we've got Lua. Hi, Lua, you write, and you got no reply.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know why she matched with me. This is my brain. My brain is like, why the hell did you match if you're not going to reply? Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Gabriella. Hi, Gabriella. No reply. Same thing again. Madalena. ¿Cómo estás, Madalena? And then no reply. Maria, how are you? No reply. Melissa, and how are you? No reply. I'm certainly picking up a trend here. Vanessa didn't reply. Elizabeth didn't reply.
I struggled. Even in the conversations, I had like to lead the conversation. Some of them put 0 effort. In the last days, I was like, I hate this. I don't want to do this again.
At least you now have an idea of what it's like for just average guys every single day on these apps. It's so hard for them, and it really eats away at your self-esteem.
Yeah, but I thought you weren't like average. I said you were like a psychologist. You had like very good pictures. I didn't understand what was like the problem. It's weird to me. This whole thing is weird because guys don't do this on dating apps. They just don't stop replying. They don't do that. Like, they don't ghost. And it's weird that women do that so often.
You know how you said at the beginning that it was easier to get matches and then it was difficult to get replies or as many matches? I hate to burst your bubble as well, but when you first create a Tinder algorithm, when you first create a Tinder account, the algorithm pushes your new account into lots of different people's faces so that you can get a bunch more matches, so that initially you get that dopamine hit that says, wow, this app really, really works. And it hooks you in thinking, ah, yes, this is good. And so lots of people don't realize that. They think, oh, I had success at one point, but it was just at the beginning. Once the Tinder algorithm starts to assign you like a hidden value, then you start to get matches according to your actual kind of desirability on the app, and it starts to go way, way, way down. So even that initial success that you got on the app, that wasn't really due to anything. That was completely artificial.
Yeah, that makes sense because today I got 0 matches. Yesterday 1, the other day 1, and I just feel like Tinder is just unfair as hell. This is all very weird reality, and maybe I was like ignorant. I didn't know this was like this. I just feel sorry for like guys and stuff. Like, no, I don't think this is good for anyone, really.
Let me ask you this. When you began the experiment, did you think that you would have a bit of an edge being a woman and thinking, I know what women are looking for. I'm going to be able to talk to them in like an easy way. Were you confident going in that you'd have the skills to be able to make these women attracted to you?
Yeah, I was like, I know what they want to hear. I know what they want. I was so confident.
18-year-old women who've had one bad dating experience where they fucked a guy out of their league and he didn't call her back. Men are trash. They dye their hair fucking pink. They get a septum piercing. Boom. Instant like that. I have been rejected. Certainly. That's the genesis and story of almost every single man.
Sure.
Because we're the initiators. See, you guys get to walk through life on easy mode. You have dating on recruit mode. You never, as a woman, have to really deal with rejection the same way men do.
Y'all, Gary won't let me get out of line at Target. I want to just go and look at a few things. And he won't let me leave his side.
Nope. You literally don't have time.
I know we don't have time, but
See?
I've never
Stop
been
there.
to this location.
It's the butt.
But I've never been to this Target
It just
location.
means you get to come back. See it as an opportunity.
But look, y'all, there's like 3 people in line in front of us.
And as soon as I get done checking out, what I don't want to have to do is have to come find you. Because
But
if I
baby,
leave you, I'll be wrong. If I leave you, I'll be wrong.
I can run around the store so quick by the
It
time.
won't be quick. You're going to stop and see something and be interested and intrigued and be, honey, big baby. And I'm going to be starting the car, wondering where my wife is. And again, if I leave you, I'm going to be wrong. So we're going to avoid all of that. And now you have an opportunity to come back. You got to view the positives. Be excited for the future. You know?
That is Target.
Yeah. That's why it's exciting.
It's so funny when my friends ask Leah, what's your type? And my type is always the same. And I'm like, my type is literally like a man that was in World War II, okay? Because that was when men were real men, okay? Real men. They weren't... What is men now? I swear. Because if you look at... When I reflect and I look at my grandpa and my papa, my mom's dad and my dad's dad... My grandpa, my dad's dad, was in the army, you know, back when you would join the army because you wanted to prove something to yourself. Your mom would cry when she sent your son off, when your son left, like, you know, not because you were a burnout and the army was the only option. I'm not dissing it. Trust me, I have mad respect for our troops. But you would go because you wanted to serve and you wanted to be a man. Now you can't get a guy off the couch, okay? You can't. I would look at my grandpa, who was in the army, and him talking about all of his habits and all of his like strict regiment when he was in the army. I look at my papa, my mom's dad, who looked like he was straight out of The Sopranos. I mean, he was a tall, bald, muscular, 2% body fat Italian man. French, like, come on now. He was not weak. My papa, I've never met a man like my papa ever in my life. Great man. Anyone who's ever met him will say that they have never met a man like him. He had like a full ride to play basketball at University of Michigan, turned it down, which I'm like, you're an idiot. Now looking back at it, he could have been like a Hall of Famer. He was such like an athlete. He turned it down because he thought college was pointless and you should work to earn a living and have a family, which he exactly did, and had car businesses. And my grandma never had to work. All their kids went to Catholic school. He provided and protected. Now, you can't even get a guy to respond to you on a Sunday. And it's not because he's in prayer and he's devout and he's like loving God. It's because he has a bet he needs to put down with DraftKings and he's watching football. Before I get comments from the men in this, because I know they always target for the low-hanging fruit. They're like, look at you look ugly, whatever. What has gone with men? Like this laziness epidemic. It's just ridiculous to me. I don't know. I literally miss my papa so much, and these men that I used to talk to should be praising God right now that he is in an urn at the Catholic cemetery, because I think he would have words with some of these like loser mentality dudes if he was still around.
I mean, you're sitting in front of a ring light. A ring light. Instead of being out there cooking dinner, washing clothes, ironing clothes, making sure the house is clean The kids are in bed with their hair brushed or combed, done up in rollers or whatever it is that they need, and close to being ready for school. Lunch is packed. Everything's taken care of. Here you are with your nails done, in a bathrobe, in front of a ring light. Once again, these modern women are not aware that they're a part of the female loser epidemic. Well, my papa did this and he didn't go to college, and he was an idiot for not taking the full ride. You should have done that, or the scholarship to play basketball. First of all, thank you, sir, for serving our country. I appreciate that. Really. But here, your granddaughter, God rest her soul, maybe it skipped a generation, and she's on here talking about where the men at. The men used to go to war. Yeah, a lot of the men were in war crying. Do you know why? Because they were on the battlefield going through trauma. But that's not something that you care about, because you at the house chilling. Oh, it's so hard for me here. When we were going through everything, when the war was happening, it was just as hard here as it was there. That's the type of stuff that y'all would say. I was going through things that were just as challenging. Him being on the battlefield, wondering if he's going to make it the next second, the next millisecond. Yeah, I was struggling with a whole lot here, just as bad as him. That's the type of stuff that modern women say today. As a matter of fact, y'all with the feminist nonsense would push yourselves over what a man in war would do. Y'all would push your importance, the things that, I called the doctor today and I went to a PTA meeting. Oh, I had to go pick the kids up from school and I dropped them off by the park, and I had to sit there with my coffee and my laptop for about an hour. And then I had to come home and make dinner consisting of chicken nuggets, Kraft mac and cheese, and some steamed broccoli. And then I had to throw them in the bathtub, to which I just left them in there with some soapy water to play for about an hour. I'll let you get good and soaped up, and then I throw a rag on their back, over their face, down around their genitalia to make sure that everything is clean. I would hope that you clean everywhere. And then I take them out of the bathtub, let them dry off for about another 10 minutes while I'm working and doing whatever. And then I put them to bed, read them a story for about 10 minutes, and then they're out. That's the challenges for me. And I'm going to say that is as hard as a man going to war. Y'all got to get a grip. Female loser epidemic.
I'm genuinely serious. When men say that they don't have time to date you because they have a job, I don't understand, what are you doing with your time? And yes, I get, a lot of men just say that because they don't like you. I know that. But, I know a couple. I know a couple men who, are so genuinely serious. And they're like, I don't have time to date. And they literally, work their job and go to the gym. And, maybe one day a week they'll go out, with their friends. And, that's it. I'm I don't understand. What are you literally doing with the rest of your time? It does, because I also work a full-time job. I also, and I go to the gym and I see my friends. I genuinely don't comprehend where is the time going? Where is it going? What do you mean you don't have time? Do you have no hobbies or pleasure outside of work? Because I don't see them doing those either.
Because to me, I used to be gay. A lot of people don't know that, and I don't care. I used to be a stud. If you pay attention, you've been my friend on TikTok for a while, then you will know that I was in a marriage with a woman for 11 years. I was the man. So when it comes down to it, no, I did not get appreciated. I barely got fucking loved. It was horrible. So that is why some men come out here and be just doing their own thing, don't even care, because, bruh, the experience was shit. No woman is just out here trying to help her man. She expects her man to just do for her. And it dawned on me, when women were growing up, I don't know one woman that was raised to know how to treat a man. I don't. I know that when I was being raised up and the people around me that was being raised up, our mamas taught us to pay attention what to look for in a man. Pay attention to how or what he has, 6 figures, a car, a house. Nobody taught us how to love him. Nobody taught us how to take care of him when he's down. Nobody taught a woman how to fucking nurture their man the correct way. We were just taught to look. We were just nurturers by nature. Nobody was taught how to nurture no man. But we were definitely taught to look. Pay attention to what your father does. He's got this job. He's got that job. He's got these cars. He's got this house. He takes care of mom. That's all we was taught to look for. And a little bit of love that you see in the house. What the fuck?
I ain't gonna lie. Once I learned how to shut the up in a relationship, like, it just got easier. Like, that's one thing I give to the men. Like, y'all was right. Like, sometimes we just need to shut up. And, yeah, I get what I want when I just listen and shut up. Even if you're wrong, I just shut up. I just shut up now. La 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 la. Like, I just play this tune in my head until he's done. And he thinks I'm listening and he thinks he's right. But, you know, it's all right. Just shut up. It goes a long way, ladies.
I am fully convinced that majority of bisexual women, myself included, would much rather be dating women over men, but we just, for the life of us, cannot make it out of those freaking DMs. Women will ghost you like no other. A man could never ghost you in the ways in which a woman can. I can't even count how many times I've been genuinely interested in pursuing a girl, and you know, things seem like they're going great. We're talking, we're texting, you know, all that, and then they just ghost you on a random Wednesday, and we didn't even get to hang out. They just vanish, poof, never to be heard from again. Genuinely, I don't know how women are getting into relationships with other women, because I can't even find one who like wants to hang out with me. Like, I can't. It's like, hey girl, oh my god, you're so gorgeous. Oh my god, you too. Like, we should make plans sometime. And then that's it. That's all she wrote. How are you guys finding relationships and love?
I had 2 boyfriends in the past 3 years who, while dating them for like a while, they sat me down multiple times and were like, Whitney, like, you're gay. And I was like, yeah, like, I'm bisexual. And they were like, no, I think you're like really gay. And I was like, okay, but like, I still like you. I hate when men are right.
What do you do when somebody else is doing everything that your spouse won't or isn't?
How do you know?
How do you know that? Yeah,
right.
Yeah, come on.
That's a good question.
I would answer that with a question. How did they become your spouse without doing everything that this new person is doing?
They were at first. And now it's like they're stagnant, they're not doing nothing, they're complacent with where they're at in life.
I want to go back to what you said. Why is that still your spouse? Bad spiritual hygiene to stay in a place where you are not honored, where you are not valued, where you are not happy, because it requires the level of emotional dishonesty from you to stay somewhere and act like it's okay when it's not.
And then I was gonna say, you know, sweetie, to take some self-inventory, because oftentimes what's missing in the relationship is what we're not giving or bringing to it. And so take some self-inventory and say, okay, a couple of things. Where did, if I did, fall off? Are there things that I stopped doing that triggered or caused him to stop showing up in the way that he did? Everything is a cause and effect. So let's figure out where the cause is and what's affecting it so we can get to the root of what's going on, because stepping out on him is really a deficit of your self-love. It's really a deficit within yourself as a woman. And the last thing I would want you to do is allow a man, I don't care how much you love him, to shift your self-love, to make your character shift into a place that's not good when you should be showing up to the best ability of who you are no matter what.
I love what you said. He didn't make her do. You answered those DMs. You responded back to that man. You like and excited about another person. And I think that's the accountability we have to take. It's always on my partner's deficit. And I understand there are some influences. Yes. But to scapegoat our lack of boundaries, our lack of a good moral code, our lack of discipline. Because I'm going to tell you this. You said spouse. You did not say your boyfriend, correct? That spouse you said till death do us part, right? Not till Reggie slides in my DM.
Wait a minute,
and I respond.
death of what? Death of what?
Okay.
Till death do us part. Death of what?
Oh! I guarantee you that spouse doesn't know.
She knows about him.
Huh?
Oh, my fault.
What happened?
Wait a minute. Hold on. She knows about
She did
him.
a Fix My Life show.
You married to a woman and you cheating with a man?
Ooh! She not cheating. She's just getting some attention.
So if a woman acts like a child, she's dating a man. If a woman acts like a mother, she's dating a child. And if a woman acts like a man, she's dating a loser.
Amen. Because
Yeah.
when you're with a guy that makes you feel safe, makes you feel loved,
You relax.
you become yourself and you become playful and fun and this and that.
Yeah,
like,
you can, just be.
yeah, you can be yourself. And I
Yeah.
love that. Then that's the best indication that you're next to a man.
Yeah.
But if you feel like, oh, you have to mother him, nah. Guys that you have to mother, they're not looking
Yeah.
for a wife.
Yeah.
The second you start mothering a man, and this, even women that give money to men, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you giving a man money? If he cannot go out into this world and make money, he's a loser. A loser, an actual loser. You're telling me in 2026 you can't make $1? You're a lazy loser.
Do you know what? Because my husband came from overseas, he says Australia is one of the easiest places to make money.
It
There are
is.
so many job opportunities.
Yes.
Like it is so easy.
That's why people come here to
Yeah.
make money.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you're broke as a joke in 2026, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
And then asking on top of that, asking women for money, you're down bad.
Embarrassing,
You're
sorry.
down bad, bro.
Yep.
You need a reality check in life.
Women are children.
Put it back on me. What?
My husband, he sees me like a child. He sees me like a child. And he always like jokes. And he's like, you're like a little girl. I'm like a child with him because he allows the space for me to feel.
It makes your inner child even feel safe.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. With your husband, you feel like you're a little girl. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
If you stop for a second and look at yourself as a child and say, I need an authority figure, the type of man you date is going to be different because you're going to be like, can he save me, protect me? Love is protection.
I was the financial provider in both my marriages. Now everyone's like, Sarah, you're too masculine. But what can I do? If the men wore the skirt in the relationship, somebody had to wear the pants, right?
What can they do now at
Be
this point?
the little girl that you always wanted to be. It's meant to help you embrace the little girl in you that you never had the opportunity to be when you were little, like
you
Michael
should
Jackson.
say that. That is helpful because I do agree. You just be talking all this trash on the internet, but you out here really doing right by these ladies.
Blessed me and my mother with one of these decks, and I was asking her the questions while we were heading to the airport, and she was asking questions. And I like that there is something in there that really helps you to identify, how do you feel?
How do you feel?
How do you express this? What word could I use? Or because I really think that you guys should check this out. Even in the half hour that we were asking these questions, it created such deeper discussions. I actually remember there was one question: did my mom ever experience grief that would have allowed her not to be as attentive? And then we started talking about, and that led to like a really cool conversation. And so it was good. And I like it because we were giggling in the car. So that was, this game is really cool. So I definitely appreciate it, guys. We're going to connect the link below if you're interested in getting the mother-daughter card game. It's literally like therapy in a box.
If a woman acts like a child, then she's dating a man.
Let's try phrasing that a little bit more accurately and see if it still sounds good. So if a woman acts in an infantile, immature, not completely cognitively developed manner, then that means that the guy she's dating should be complimented as being a man.
If she acts like a mom, then she's dating a child.
If she's acting in a way that's responsible, loving, and possibly caretaking, then that should be taken as an insult to the guy that she's with.
And if she acts like a man, then she's dating a fucking loser.
So if they're acting confident, self-assured, independent, and most of all, responsible, that naturally means that the person they're dating is a loser. Right. Sometimes I really don't think that a lot of women think these things through because, quite frankly, it makes women look really bad when they say stuff like this.
okay, I don't want to get into bisexuality with you because I know how you feel about it. But
no, it's not true, Laura. It's not true.
I've heard,
you know what?
You've
heard wrong. I want to tell you, in bisexual. Can I say something about bisexual?
Please.
It is real.
Yes.
It is valid. I love it.
I love hearing about it.
I believe in it. Leanne Rhymes. I love bi.
Okay, but
so what is your?
I used to pork a lot of women back in the day.
Wound up with a man though,
and I wound up with a man,
which is part of it.
It's like 100% of the thing. Isn't it? That eventually I do.
But you're not allowed to say that.
I'm finally cleared to talk about this publicly, and I'm excited about it. But I did have like a dream about having sex with a woman like a few months ago, and I woke up from it and I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna ask. I'm just gonna ask.
Yeah.
And I was like, would you mind if I like did that sometimes? And he was like, oh, do you mean have affairs with women? And I said,
no worries.
And he said a sentence to me that I'm never gonna forget. He goes, the fact that you don't think that's cheating is homophobic.
I'm loving him.
He's so smart.
I'm loving him.
He's so smart. It's the most big brain shit I've ever heard in my entire life. You don't understand. He had to teach me that women are people.
Yeah.
So there has been this quote regarding dating and relationships that is circulating TikTok like crazy. I don't know how it has made its way to my For You page as much as it has, because it is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen. I've actually even seen people reposting it on their Instagram stories. Like, I don't know who started this, and I don't know why everyone's eating it up, but I gotta talk about it. It is that quote that I guarantee you guys have seen, where people are like, if a woman acts like a child, she's dating a man. And if a woman acts like a woman, she's dating a child. Like, they're basically insinuating if a woman acts like a little girl, her man is good, he's a man. But if a woman acts her age and grown and acts like, I don't know, maternal or whatever, then she's dating a child. And I have no idea where this is coming from. Like, what about a woman just acting like a woman, a man just acting like a man, and like neither one of these things like have anything to do with the other, because we're just grown. And it's just like women act like women and men act like men. Like, I am 31 years old. Well, about to be. Okay, let me not age myself by like 3 days. Okay, I will be 31 in like 4 days now. Okay, I am married. I don't have the time to act like a child. I don't have the time to act like a little girl, nor do I want to. What exactly does that entail? Like, I got shit to do. I have things going on. My man has shit to do. My man has things going on. Like, he's 36. He'll be 37 this year. Like, we don't have time to act like children. And I don't know how that is, like, indicative of the other like, I'm just not understanding. What does this entail? Baby talking. There is someone I used to know many years ago. I only knew her through her being in a relationship with someone that I knew, and she always talked in a baby voice. And this is so long ago that they must have been like young to mid 20s, and it literally drove me crazy, and had no, like, it said nothing about her being like, I get to be like an inner child because my man is just so manly. It was just fucking annoying. She just like liked to act like a little girl and was like very immature. And like, I don't understand. Like, that's what's coming to my mind when I keep seeing this thing being like, when a woman acts like a little girl, she's with a man. Like, no, it's actually weird. And like, in an adult relationship, and if you guys are planning on getting married, you should not be like, the goal should not be to act like a child. Like, you should not be like, I'll know my man is a man when I get to act like a little girl. Okay, goals, I guess.
Well, the fact of the matter is, you're baffled because how could these modern women get any dumber? How could these modern women get any sillier? Why don't men simp anymore? Why can't I find a simp? Why can't I find a man to just obsess over me? Why can't I find a man to yearn over me? It's because y'all sit in the studio. I just had a woman a few minutes ago talk about men used to go to war. Why men ain't men no more? Because you have women that sit in the studio and say absolutely stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. Men hear this and they say, oh, she's cute, but she's stupid. Oh, she is drop dead gorgeous, but she's an idiot, bro. Why are men coming at me sideways? Why they not coming at me correct? Why can't I find a man to simp for me? Because we heard your podcast and we saw that you didn't think straight. And now you really honestly and truly must be good for one thing, and it ain't thinking.
I'm 28 years old. I'm in my first relationship with a woman ever, and this is why dating women is not easier than dating men. Okay, number one, the beginning phase when you're first trying to talk to a woman is so much harder than talking to a man. Flirting is not the same. I remember when I was dating men, I used to think flirting was so easy. I would either like roast the shit out of them, or I would just have this level of confidence. Whereas with women, especially feminine-looking women, you can't really tell if they're also interested in other women. So, B, it's so much more nerve-wracking. You're like, hee, I like your top. Whereas with men, I'd be like, do I make you nervous? It's just so different. In my personal experience, men are pretty straightforward. I feel like men make it pretty clear if they're interested in you or not. Women, on the other hand, we do not think in a linear way the same way men do. We are so much more complex. Like, we think about so many other things when we're dating somebody. I'm not saying that all men are like this, but in my personal experience, women are just far more complex emotionally. Speaking on emotions, when I was dating a man, I could be so fucking pissed off and just like huffing and puffing, and he would never notice. Now that I'm dating a woman, Jess and I are so intuitive with each other's emotions, it's insane. She could so as much as blink different or breathe slightly off, and I'll be like, what is going on? I just feel like we're so much more intuitive and in tune with each other's emotions, whereas with men, it just goes right over their head. Because we feel so deeply, anytime that a fight happens or there's a disagreement, I don't know why, but the emotions feel 10 times heightened in comparison to when I would go through things with men. I feel like I would be able to brush it off no problem. With Jess, and maybe it's also because we're like very in love, but you feel the emotions and you feel them so deeply because your emotional connection is just so strong. One thing I really was not prepped for when dating Jess was the eyeballs that we get when we show any sign of PDA.
When I was dating men, we would go out, hold hands, kiss in public, and nobody would bat an eye. But dating Jess, whenever we go out and we show any signs of PDA, people are just staring. Like, we literally had an instance where we went to a restaurant and we kissed and people started clapping. Lastly, apparently the breakups with women are way more intense, way harder than the breakups with men. I'm hoping that I never have to experience that, but I have heard from other people that your first breakup with a woman is not good.
I don't think I like women anymore. I'm attracted to them. They're very attractive. I'm not attracted to men. I like women in the way that they look, but I'm not into women anymore. I dated men and married men my entire adult.
Wait a minute, wait. She got is that a chipped tooth or is that a tooth missing? Oh, you really committed to the I'm a guy thing looking type of situation. Let's continue.
Life up until about 2021, so I was 26, 27 years old. From 2021 to 2023, I dated women. I discovered women, and I went, whew, women. Things were solid from 2021 to 23. I was in and out of relationships, had a lot of work to do on myself, but I had no problem finding a date, getting a woman to go on multiple dates with me, or finding a woman to be in a relationship with. Flash forward to 2023 to 2025, and there has been a major pivot. It was subtle at first, but it's not anymore. Feminism was raging, everyone was a strong, independent woman, the I Choose the Bear movement, and girls decided that they didn't need a man, me, or anyone else in their lives. So for the last 2 years, I've gone on maybe 2-3 dates a year. I can swipe yes on 400 women on dating sites and only get one match. My appearance hasn't changed, my politics haven't changed, I was dating as a conservative way back as well. Women have changed. I can't get a woman to go on a date anymore, and men are having the same problems. See, women have decided that checking 90% of their boxes isn't enough. You need to check 100. Whereas men, and women like me, have decided if you check 80% of my boxes, that's a pretty good start.
So essentially, what this woman is saying is she is experiencing as a person that is attracted to women or who decided that they wanted to date women. Now, of course, Anton doesn't necessarily care for people's life choices, But that has nothing to do with this conversation because what we're talking about is the culture. We're talking about the attitude. We're talking about the nature of what women are like today, right? And so this person that has conservative views, values, haven't changed their appearance is the same person is saying that everything has shifted to where women have this mindset and this attitude that I choose to bear, I decenter men, whatever, so on and so forth. My standards are this high, regardless of whatever it is that I look like and what I got going on, to where now it has changed the culture to where they, and I've seen this person actually do a video before talking about how if you want a strong man, then I'm not it. I'm actually a woman. I'm just attracted to women. The culture has changed significantly. And it's changed so much to where even women are saying that they don't want to deal with women that are strong, independent women, and that also has this mindset towards, I need somebody to check 100% of the boxes in order for me to even be interested in them. And again, I say this all the time. It's funny how a woman is even explaining this to you that looks at it, that looks at it from a man's perspective. Now they can see what men are going through.
She said, I don't think I'm attracted to women anymore. I don't think I like them. I like the way they look, but I don't think I like women. I don't think I like them. As you can see the caption, done dating women, going back to men. Conservative lesbian says feminism ruined it for her also. Guess what, sister? You sound like a lot of men that are going through the same thing, that have been saying for decades, these modern women are a terror by day and a nightmare during the night. These women make life absolutely a living hell. The bar, the stuff that they talk about, nice to look at, but the stuff that they get into, the stuff that they talk about is absolute foolishness.